Hey there, are you wondering how NLP can help with anxiety? Well, stay tuned, I'm going to answer that question now. Alright, so welcome back, and in this video we're going to be talking about again how NLP can help with anxiety. Now, one of the most important things to understand here is that neuro-linguistic programming is not meant to treat or diagnose conditions, and the reason why I say this is because a lot of conditions have underlying issues that are not going to be helped by neuro-linguistic programming techniques. So for example, anxiety can have a strong biochemical component. Okay, and that biochemical component could be based on genetic factors or lifestyle factors, and those would need to be addressed by the appropriate professional. However, neuro-linguistic programming techniques can be very helpful in the process of developing strategies to reduce anxiousness, especially in certain contexts. So let me give you an example of this. If you're experiencing anxiety or anxiousness about something like, for example, taking a test, or for example, giving a public speech, there's a formula for how you are generating anxiousness. And most likely, it's going to be something like, for example, thinking about the event, that public speech or that test taking, making pictures, images, sounds, and then having feelings of the event occurring in a way that you don't want it to go. So for example, seeing yourself performing badly on a test, or for example, seeing yourself making mistakes and being nervous while you're giving a speech. Now certainly, if you make internal pictures and movies and representations of things that you don't want to have happening, and then feeling that feeling now, you're going to feel anxious. You might also feel fear, okay? Because you're actually thinking about what you don't want to have happen. So an NLP technique might be thinking about that event, seeing it through, going exactly how you want it to go, and then seeing it through all the way to the end, and then float out 10 minutes past the successful completion of the event, and then turning around and looking at the successful event having been completed. Now, if you do that, you're probably going to feel a lot less anxious. Why? Because you're actually internally vividly imagining that the event had already occurred and it occurred very successfully. You're going to feel less anxiousness, and then you're going to feel a lot better about the situation. Now, the reason why that works is because we're setting our brain into a direction, and that's what neuro-linguistic programming is really good at. Now, the technique itself might not be all that's necessary in order to overcome that anxiety. There are a lot of other factors. So for example, if you go through that technique and then you feel good for a brief moment, but then you doubt the ability of yourself to do the activities that you saw in your mind, then you might have to deal with some beliefs. Well, I don't think it's going to go that way because of X or Y or Z, or I'm incapable or whatever. Those are additional things that need to be addressed. So that's why I always talk about NLP techniques themselves. People don't just run through them and then that just fixes all of the issues. A lot of times we have to go through multiple layers of how someone thinks about situations and circumstances before we get to the NLP techniques. So this is really, really critical. Okay? And why some people don't get the intended effects or results from NLP techniques. And this is one of the reasons why it's advisable to work with somebody who knows what they're doing, because they can help you go through these circumstances and get the outcomes that you'll want. So neuro-linguistic programming can be highly effective and helpful for anxiety and anxiousness in the context of other therapeutic means. And that might be working with the therapist, that might also be working with a nutritionist, for example, for biochemical concerns or underlying issues, but always taking a holistic approach with the person and all of the factors that contribute to their anxiety and ongoing anxiousness. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. Do me a favor, if you want to see more of these videos and my input on neuro-linguistic programming based on my experience, do me a favor, click the like button down below, comment below, let me know any videos that you would like to see, and of course, hit that subscribe button down below and the bell so you get notified anytime any of these new videos come up. And last but not least, always check out my links in the description below. You'll also see it on the first comment for my top recommendations on free online NLP trainings and all the other sorts of great freebies. Sam Bisnick here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.